you're being called towards something, you feel it, you being given all the tools, the tips and the tricks, but then you're like this thing like that's inside of you that's like, wow, what really is this? So I just wanted to create this video today. I literally just like, hey, go get in front of a camera and start talking. So this is that video. So I welcome you to Michael Abney Life YouTube channel. Used to be the Energy Sherpas. I want to share like what happened between last October and now, and what I want to create for in the future. So stay tuned, and we're gonna dive into it right after this. Hi guys, welcome back. I'm so glad you guys came back. Thank you for being here on my channel. I really appreciate it. My name is Michael Abney, and I help dreamers accelerate their evolution and wake up to the most epic life. And the reason that I say that is not some canned thing. It really came from a place of really getting clear about who I am, what my purpose is, and how I'm going to express that. There's a lot of things that shifted in my life last October at the beginning of that or the end of that last video, where I had just completed this process, envisioning what I wanted for this year to be. And man, it really kicked into high gear, and it just really took me down the stream. So much so that that was my only focus, is about discovering that, what that looked like, how that came to be, where I'm at now, how much has happened, being in the flow of that, and now understanding that this is the company, me, this YouTube channel is about expressing what is inside of me. And right now, that is everything shifted for me when I realized that it really was not about the knowing of anything anymore. It was about the application of it. And how do I take, and how have I taken the spiritual wisdom that I've gained through knocking my head in a wall for the past 25 years, basically, because I'm kind of stubborn, and about how the energy side of life works. Since the pandemic, everything shifted for me. It's all inside. I see how the world that we're living in is transforming, how it's going from one level to the next, and seeing a way to create a language that we can all communicate with each other as we ascend with the evolution that's happening on the planet. That's when I discovered that that's what I'm here for. And the things that I love doing is showing how to create lifestyles for ourselves that support us living in creating intentionally our experiences that we want to have on the planet. And eventually, when we master that, gathering with other people that know that as well, and begin to shape what a world that works for everybody, like a context for it. And I want to be a part of that. So helping people wake up to integrating like no shit spiritual practices in our life that becomes like part of our lifestyle, that produce the result of us naturally living in our purpose, like living in that gap of where we're at and what life is calling us to be. That's where we're at. And seeing what's showing up right now, understanding the context of it globally is really powerful, because a lot is dissolving around us, a lot is destructing around us. That's not a bad thing. It's just energetically, it's a lot to witness. Collectively, we're all being called to question things that have been running in the background that are uncomfortable to talk about, but we will get through that. There are people like me that are committed to communicating it, like getting past our egos so that we can communicate and talk about these things openly and in a constructive way from an observatory point of view. But we have to get to this place where we all really understand at a root level how the conflict that we're experiencing, the anger, the emotions, everything that's coming up, the survival, all of it, it may look chaotic, but there is an order to it. There's a reason that it's happening. And the quicker that you can shift to it, the quicker that you can get out of a reactory state, the better off you are. But that requires you intentionally creating your day in such a way that it supports you in that journey. Also connecting with a community of other people that love doing that too is extraordinarily important. It's a part of my vision, and it's a part of why that I want the video expression of this to be out there. It's not, comfortable for me to get on a camera and start talking about stuff, but the reality is somebody's got to. I feel I'll keep getting better at it. The reality is, like, I've got to stay focused, and that's actually what I've created for this month, is being focused. And what that looks like is creating my day that what would a focused person, like, what would their schedule look like? How would they support themselves? I do a daily practice every single day, but now it's in the context of developing content and programs that people can play along and participate together, where you actually learn how to evolve out of those things by creating that space to take care of yourself. It's like having a meeting with you and your inner self, the core of who we are as humans, not the outside, like what's happening, but like what's going on with inside of us. You have to check in, and you're not going to just do that. You have to create space for it. And that's inside of a context of how you're going to be in your life. And bottom line, like, most of the things that we suffer with in our life are really because we don't understand the deeper meaning of it. We're only looking at it from a limited perspective of the physical aspect of life, when in reality, that physical aspect is caused by an energetic aspect, an emotional aspect. Our spiritual spaces, our emotional spaces that we have, that are all around us, that are happening, but we just don't talk about them. And if we do, it's in some sort of incongruent way, which looks cuckoo to people or woo-woo. And we all feel these same things. We just don't have a platform or an understanding or a language that we can communicate together, where we agree that, oh yeah, when I walked in a room, I had this feeling or this sense, or when I was around this person, I had this feeling, even though that wasn't what was showing up in our communication. Like, we can detect it. We know when someone's lying to us. We know when something's off. We have these senses, but we don't talk about them. But if you're going to be powerful in life, you have to use all the tools that are available to you. And that is understanding the spaces, our mental space, our physical spaces, our emotional spaces, and our spiritual spaces. It's so crucial. And they all have to be aligned and moving in the direction of what your life's calling you to be. And that's all the information that's provided to us every single day. It's like, are you moving toward it? Are you moving against it? You are not static, and you're not sitting still. You are either doing one of the two, and your emotions are always going to be your clue as to in which direction that you're moving. We just got to shift out of removing the blocks and barriers, the resistance to having our lives be in that flow. And that's what I love doing. I love talking about it. And that's the purpose of this channel now. It kind of always was. It was just how the name and the concept came to me at the beginning of it's sort of how everything has evolved for me over the time, as I will get a sense of what's next, and then those teachers or programs, they start. So a lot of like how I've learned how to put all of this together, it comes from trusting that space and how we can all learn to educate ourselves in a new way. That's why I love these platforms. So like Kajabi, the one that I use for my business, there's other ones that are out there, but it's like, we're learning from each other. But in order to learn, I want to be the best that I can be in that expression and allowing my own creativity to come through to create fun, exciting ways, because we get to make up how this is, how we experience life. It's not at default. We actually can create it. We just got to become conscious of it and start connecting with other people that want to play life at that level. Because with everything that's happening, it's increasingly showing us where these uncomfortable spaces are at. And if we can diffuse them a little bit, soften it, ease, lean into it, I just think it's way more effective than just having something, the brute force of whatever it is that happens in our lives that wakes us up. It happened to me. That's why that I woke up was a series of like, oh my God moments. But those oh my God moments changed everything. I'm just a stand that it doesn't have to go all the way to the ground floor for you to wake up. I believe it's possible to do it without all of the drama and trauma of it. And that's why I'm here. So just to be of service, and the possibility that something that I may say might cause an easing of resistance, which will cause more flow and more hope to come into life. And the more we let that energy of the universe come through us, the easier it is that we navigate towards our purpose and understand that it's the journey that of the experiences towards it is the whole point. Not rushing to get to the destination. But that said, I just wanted to say thank you for those that have followed me. I appreciate it. This is where I'm going from here. All the other stuff will be reorganized in a playlist called The Energy Sherpa. It's still a part of me. I love the name of it, but the reality is that I was hiding behind names, and I had a really powerful coach, Marnie Semick, the one that's helping me put part of my company together. If you guys are a spiritual teacher or healer and you're wanting to do the same, I highly, highly, highly recommend her. She holds the space for us to get that part of our life together, and we have to do that, even though, you know, channeling and I do channel. I've never mentioned that before, but I do that. All of us are channeling at some level, but it's allowing that expression to be out into the physical world, and stop hiding behind different things, was the revelation of Michael Abney. And then what I do is the lifestyle part, Michael Abney Life. That's how that came to be. But it came out of a clarifying conversation that I had with Marnie. So thank you, Marnie. I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wouldn't be here doing this video if it wasn't for the confidence that you gave me by helping me understand the back end of this. So all that said and done, I appreciate you guys being here. I love the experience of opening up to this and getting more comfortable so that I can just share what I see and how we can lean into it and become actually empowered by the transformation that's happening in our world today. Not be scared of it, like leverage ourselves and our lives that it takes us to the next level, because that's exactly why that it's here. But I know it is scary as shit when it's going down, because I've lived it. That's why I want to create the space that I'm creating with Michael Abney Life, that creates where we don't have to be so scared and we can help each other through these spaces and empower each other. Because the more we do that, the quicker it happens. And I'm here to accelerate that. So, because I'm over the other shit. So this resonates, please give me a thumbs up on this video, and consider subscribing to my channel, because there's gonna be more content like this coming. I just wanna be as real as possible and authentic, and I'm gonna be expressing more of my story as we come forward, but there's a reason why that I wanna do this. I've just been, you know, not the best at sharing it because it's not my forefront. I love working with other people, but in the world that we live in today, you just have to be all of it and be open to, yes, I can do this. And plus, learning something new every day is really great for our health and our well-being. But we'll talk more about that. I'm looking forward to all the next. see you guys on the next video. Again, thanks for watching. Love you. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.